Hey guys, welcome back, John Megacycle here, another episode of the Motley Craft server. That was a little loud. Okie dokes. Welcome back. So I wanted to show off a few things, and I want to kind of do these series when I do Minecraft, since I don't think I really have a lot of tutorials in me. I just really want to make sure that you guys are staying up to date. If you were interested at all with the Minecrafty stuff I do, this is more of a relaxation thing for me, Minecraft. I know there's a lot of dudes that are on cutting edge snapshots and the latest and greatest, and that's perfect for them. I'm a little more simplistic when it comes to Minecraft. So this is Sanctuary. There's the spawn point, as I think I mentioned the previous video, did a floating island kind of a thing. Moving over to the actual beginning of Sanctuary, I don't remember if you saw the rules that I set up. Real simple. I'm not really too sure how to make this super complex, but made it really simple. We got a couple of new recruits actually joining us. I'm going to do this in bat form. They actually made the morph a little more easy, or a little more balanced. In the lower left, you can see I've only got 3 hearts, which is good, because before, in previous versions of Direwolf 20, you got your full health, and that kind of made it a little chintzy, but right now, if a skeleton archer hits me twice, I'm toast. So it's actually kind of cool. It's a bit balanced. So here's Sanctuary. Every place that's got the grass is unowned, so I've kind of made it a little easier to know what is city controlled and what is claimed. And if we take a look at the minimap, it actually looks pretty awesome. So I've gone through, this is the south side. So this can expand out. Oh, I didn't even notice we had a village. Look at that. Okay, so we have a village. Then I was working on, we've got 6 or 3x3. It's here. It's marked with the magnum torches. Can I zoom in? Heck yes. These are magnum torches on each of the corner. These are city-owned buildings. I've got 2 plots here that are going to be also city-owned, like a park. Then I built a bridge, very simple bridge, onto the north side. Now, I'm not too sure, but I'm hoping some of the players really start breaking this down and turn this into like districts. So the south side is going to be really light commercial kind of stuff. The north side is going to be really expensive high rises or something. I don't even know. But no guidelines, no requirements. I put enough of these torches here, these magnum torches, to make sure mobs don't spawn. And that's just a really easy way to handle it. For Sanctuary, I don't want a ton of creepers running around because that's just a pain in the butt. So I've gone through and I've added a few more plots. These are each 1, and I think it's F9. Right. These are each 1. Oh, and shut off F7. These are each 1, for the 9th time I'm going to say it, 1 chunk. So as it cuts right in the center, we have 1 chunk here. This divides out perfectly. So if you were to put a chunk loader in here, you would just have your own space. And you own this chunk. You can go as high as you want, as low as you want, whatever you want. It works out nice. What I'm really hoping is we don't have a ton of like this guy, whoever has this guy has like a 40-story building and this person is a pawn shop. You know, that might be a little weird, but I really want to see what the players do with it. This all has to be, whoa, hello. How you doing? This all has to be clear cut and removed to make more room. So this is actually going to go way up to, I think, where we have natural water. Right about here-ish. Now I think there's this cut here because I haven't generated these chunks before and this was in a prior load. So the map actually has these cached. See how it's kind of like hilly and then forest and it just cuts right in the middle? It doesn't do that. It's not that severe. At least I don't think so. See how stuff kind of blends together here with the mouse? That's kind of how biomes should work. This is just bad map generation, or at least old map generation, so no big deal there. Aside from that, yeah, this is going to go way out. And I've been using a builder's wand, a creative builder's wand, to fill in the space, and that's actually worked out real nice. Actually, I want to go south. Got a little ahead of myself. It's getting dark, so aside from this, I wanted to at least update where we've been on the main server. Now that everyone's bases are actually producing resources, at least enough to get them going, that's going to be enough for us to start building cosmetic structures. I think we actually have, yeah, we have 4 players on. Master Rat, Andreon's a new player, Spectral, and myself. Recruited a few new players today, and that's really going to determine how much space we can accommodate with how often people play. So I'm really hoping that's going to be cool. I'm really excited to see how some of these structures work. I put a lot of time to clear and flatline this land, considering the filler's busted. I'm not too sure if I mentioned that, but Yeah, the filler doesn't work too well in this version of Direwolf 20. So we're going to unmorph, turn into myself. And before it gets dark, we're going to head right to my base, Megacycle HQ. Now, I have a hidden entrance, and I'm actually not going to show it, but this is where we get into my base. So I'm going to pause here, I'm going to get into my base, and I'll show you guys in a minute. Yeah, I had to cut the power on some of these machines. I was producing way too many resources. I don't really have an AE system or anything, so that was just enough to get me going. Not to say that this base is super duper hidden like secret, but I'm kind of making the entrance kind of secret anyhow. So that was my harvester planter for oak trees. This is my big ass smeltery. This is Ender IO. It's a kind of wiring I've been working with, and it's really nice. Each wire has its own capacity. So it kind of builds in its own battery, so even if you're dead on power, the machines will run a little bit longer. Especially when I have applied energistics and get everything synced up. It'll be really cool that the machines will keep running a little bit, even if the controller or whatever is dead. I kind of really like that. This is for berries. This is kind of a setup I'd never seen before, so I worked with it. The planks actually block out light. So I can have this as bright as I want, and you see how it's so dark in there and there's nothing there? Here, let's just bust this up. There, and the light just floods in. These actually block out the light, so it's perfect conditions for these oreberry bushes, and I can have as many as I want. In here, this is perfect. I can hit top and bottom, so I get, I try to maximize as much space as possible. And then at the top, I just put more cobblestone and another plank. So what that kind of sets up for is I could add another layer, maybe one layer. I could add one more layer up there. That gives me enough space. So I've got them all: tin, aluminum, gold and iron, I think. Yeah, gold. Tons of tin. Tin has been crazy. Then copper, and then iron, and then experience. Yep. I think the only one that's not really doing too hot is this iron one, because there's a little exposure. But this setup really works nice. I like it a lot. So yeah, I really wanted to max out on Tinker's tools, at least the Tinker Smeltery, because that's really how I've been processing all of my ore. This works out great. This holds about 2 stacks of resources to be processed, and I just finished my quarry not long ago, and it was perfect. Come in here, dump 2 stacks, go away. And then of course this filters into a small chest. I've got some hoppers underneath these casting tables and basins, and then redstone clocks. Now I think you guys have seen this on other Motley Crafts servers. I know the last one. This is actually something I think Spectral worked with. He put the clock down, and what this does is it provides a tick and actually clicks on what it's next to. So in this case, the faucet. Now with these levers I can shut it on or off, but if this one being off, it'll actually pour out ingots, and the ingots will spill right into here, which works out great, especially if you just dump a stack and leave it alone. It works out great. And then what I also did is I put a hopper on here before I put in all the wiring, and that was even better. That gave me another 5 stacks that it could process. The books, each of the 3 books that I have at my disposal right now, whoops, that's wrong. So that way I always have them as reference. They take up no additional room. And then of course I've just got a bin for the berries themselves. So I've been trying really simplistic starting off, but I wanted to also maximize as many resources as I can before I start working on big stuff. Then of course a chunk loader to keep my machines active. Now this is something that I think is new to this pack. This is called a quartz grindstone, and it's from Applied Energistics 2. What this does is this is early ore doubling. Do I have any ore at all? I think I processed everything. I don't know if you can grind down uranium. Nope. Can you grind down yellorium? Or yellorite? Oh, let's see if you can. So all it takes is, it takes a little quartz, Certus quartz, and a crank, and it'll actually double your resources just like this. Now this is very early stuff. I was using this well before I got the smeltery, just so I can get some iron going on, because I wanted some proper tools. All you do is you run the crank, it'll stop when it's done, and it doubles up the materials, just exactly as I showed you before. This is absolutely awesome. Now, as I mentioned, it'll actually stop when it's done, and I'll keep clicking it, and it'll actually stop moving. Then, if you keep clicking it, it'll actually break the crank. but the crank is just 5 sticks. So it's not that big of a loss, but this is super early doubling of ore, so you're not wasting a lot of resources just to get to the smeltery or just to get to the pulverizer and a redstone furnace. So I'm just going to keep going with this until it stops completely. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Of course, this takes a little extra time, but hey, if I go and bring half a stack of iron and I turn that to a full stack of iron, I'm totally down with that. No complaints there. And then you just hook this up to a furnace, get it all smelted down into ingots, you're ready to go. Oh, okay, see how it stopped there? There we go, 32. No problem. Very handy early game. As I said, I got done with my mine, or my quarry, so I've got a ton of resources sitting around. Here's 8,126 items of wood. I've got everything, at least from the base. And then I've also discovered this stuff. This is, this is compressed cobblestone. This is literally 9 cobblestone put into one. Now I don't know if this is in other packs or not, or if this is brand new, but I just found it. Actually, I think Spectral pointed it to me. When I was pulling out of the quarry, you're going to have a ton of filler. In this case, filler is cobblestone. I had 18 barrels of cobblestone because I didn't have any iron to do any upgrades or anything. I had nothing else just to get that quarry going. So what I did is I used auto crafting, these guys, auto workbenches. I used a transfer node and some pipe. And all I did with this was let's see, there's one. So let's just do this for giggles. I did something like this, and then like this, and then what this will do is this will pull items out, and then you just build the recipe in the auto workbench. And I know I've showed you guys these before. You put a recipe in, it'll automatically pull in the resources, make the object, and then you just pipe that out into another barrel. So for me, what that's been is 22,000 items of this single compressed cobblestone. It's a great space saver, and you're not losing any of the materials. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't change anything. Oh, I mean, you got to change it back to the normal stuff. But aside from that, you're not losing anything. And if you do it automatically like I did, it really saved a ton of space because I was literally freaking out that I was running out of room. Let's get all that out of there. So I've got a bunch of compressed cobblestone and a bunch of compressed dirt. Now you can keep compressing it. You can compress it over and over and over and over again. I think up to 8 times. So this can go like this. There. Double compressed. So this block holds really 81 cobblestone. So it goes from compressed or single compressed to double compressed. And we can pull this all out. Actually, I need 2 more. And I'm sure you can figure it out. Oh, no, I need way more. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, wait. When I said 2 more, I needed 2 more times 9. I am not thinking straight. So there's our double. Now that we have double, now this goes triple, and it'll say how much cobblestone it holds. So if you think about how much a normal barrel holds, which is 4,096, this is really a huge resource time saver. And there we go, we're back to single compressed. Dump that back in the bin. No muss, no fuss. And then with auto crafting, you could have your applied energistics automatically craft it to as dense as it can possibly be, and then undense it or unfurl it, or however you want to say it, uncompress it, really is what it is, back to the normal increment. Not too bad. It's a very nice thing they've added. Then, of course, I found the golden bag of holding. Again, I say I found. I think Spectral or one of the other Motley crafters pointed this one out. It's an extra double-wide chest. I think that's double wide. Yeah, it's an extra double wide chest in your inventory just with taking up 1 spot. It's awesome. Also great for ferrying around items. Really recommend it if you got the resources. Not that expensive. Let's see. Pulverizer, furnaces, alloy smelter, pretty simple stuff here. No big deal. Now, with my normal base construction methodology, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it very top-down heavy. And the reason for that, and I'm just going to go up and down, the reason I want to do this is because it really minimizes how many chunk loaders I need to run to power my whole base. So if you show the lasers, I should really have my entire base functionality within this grid. And that that's just a nice thing for the server. It's just less chunks that need to be loaded. The same stuff is really happening, but there's just less the server's got to worry about. Power and electricity is steam dynamos to get started. I use these item transfer nodes very simply to keep them full of charcoal. They power some batteries. The batteries then run this stuff, this Ender IO energy conduit throughout the base. And as usual, I do the clear glass so we can see what's what. So it's a nice thing. It's like a service kind of a thing. I also had to shut this off. Way too many resources. I was AFK for 3 days and I came back to these systems were flooded. And then down below, this is my actual service elevator, or service area. So we have this is where the energy conduit runs, and then for the seeds that come out of the harvester, they get filtered down using a item filter, which is very cool. That filters it all the way down to the planter, and there we go. That makes sure that the wheat goes one way, the seeds go another way. Make sure it keeps it nice and simple. Again, it's a bit of automation without really using AE or any of those really high-tech things. You can get a lot done with just some hoppers, a little bit of logic, some item forwarding. You can have a really cozy base without having to do a lot for heavy resources, or tech for that matter. Yeah, so that's really all I wanted to show you guys. Very simple so far, but at least wanted to give you a glance at my base. I'm kind of not going to other people's bases because I want to give them the opportunity to show off what they've got, and we've got some really interesting things going on in the works, so that's about it. I'm going to harvest up these berries, get them in the smeltery, get back to work. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good... Whoa, that was a glitch right there. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time.